Thanks for tuning in to my Topsnap podcast. This is number 25. I really appreciate it. For those of you that have a very short attention span, I'll just give you the lowdown. This first part of the podcast is pretty much UFC. So if you're not into UFC, you can fast forward it. But we do talk about several things. We talk about the top 5 Olympic stories or memories, of 2016. We mentioned a little bit about Colin Cowherd, the Herd. Some of you guys are sports guys, and he commented on the fight. So I don't know if you're into that. You can tune in. It's pretty recent. It's just kind of at the beginning of the podcast. But most of the good stuff, the funny shit is towards the end. We talk about Fogo de Chao. Look, if you don't know what that is, you can Google it or listen to the podcast. We talked about Combat Jack later on, who he was a lawyer for Rockefeller Records. He has a podcast, so we talk a little bit about that. And everything else is pretty much about the UFC 202. I do throw down my... Oh, man, I listened to it. Slaughtered my rap. I did a rap rhyme about my dogs. So that's towards the end of this. So if you want to laugh and make fun of me, you can. And just tell me how much I suck. I'm good with that. But I do throw down my rap lyrics about my 2 dogs and their lineage. Thank you for tuning in. And if you watch this whole thing, that'll be awesome. This intro, and we're going to start right now. And we have, it'll be Brandon Ray sitting here, and his buddy Steven, who's just a cool guy. He just wanted to come down to the podcast, and I told him I'll give him some headphones and a mic to peep some words. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate that. And like always, check me out on Instagram at username is JUSERNAMEISJAY. Username is Jay on Instagram. Thank you so much. You can follow me on Twitter at Topsnap, TOPSNAP _podcast, PODCAST, Topsnap _podcast. Follow me, like me, hate me, whatever. Thank you. Shoots, here you go. Roll them. Topsnap podcast. We are here with Brandon and Steve. We are post UFC 202 with a bunch of shit on our minds.
Lots and lots to talk about. Yeah. That's for sure.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. This is podcast number 25. It's exciting because it is post-fight. There's a lot of conclusion to our guessing game that we were playing. I don't call it, for me, it's not, I'm not trying to call a fight. That's for sure. You can't do that shit. It's almost impossible. Especially with the outcome that we saw this weekend. A lot of differences from my guesses, my perspective as well. I didn't think Glover Teixeira was going to get knocked out, and I don't think anybody thought Glover Teixeira was going to get knocked out in 13 seconds. Did you?
Well, I did call a first round knockout.
You did.
Not to gloat or anything.
You
but,
did.
I didn't.
But
think
did you expect he was going to tie up McGregor's little?
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected that. So
with an uppercut, dude.
Exciting. Did you see Glover Teixeira's tooth fly out?
No, I did. See that? I hear about that.
I'm like, I didn't see that. But I probably
it was pretty funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
Steve, do me a favor. Take the mic stand and just pull it closer towards you. That way it's you don't have to reach. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. With these cardioid mics.
Yeah.
See, check this out. If you do this, it comes really into it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, weird.
That's so weird. Is that why Rogan sometimes does this when he wants to wants to get intimate with your ears?
He might.
Probably.
If you're wearing headphones, I'm intimate in your ears. That's sick. Intimate in your ear. You could take that and
it kind of turns me on.
That's meme right there. Fuck. All right, so here goes a bunch of cussing already. I've been drinking for the last several hours.
Cheers.
Why I redid some cables here at the podcast studio. One more time over here. Let's get Unity over here. How about
Unity.
That? There we go. That's the way to fucking do a celebration. I'm sorry again for you out there that like to listen to this stuff, but you don't like the F word being bombed out every 10 seconds. I'm going to what is it?
You can tone it down a bit.
I'm just gonna
cut it down.
Pay more attention to some of the verbiage. That's all. I mean, I think that's important. There's a time and a place to say fuck.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, all the time. There's no stopping it. See, there you go. I have a potty mouth when I get on this mic because I don't think I have a potty mouth that much off the mic, and then all of a sudden I get here.
It's hard. You're always trying to talk, and then you're like, if you're like somewhere at work or something, it always sometimes slips out once in a while.
Yeah, it's pretty. When you're in that deep conversation with somebody who's a little bit older, and then all of a sudden you slip a you almost see a fuck, but if you say shit, you even still feel bad. Like, oh man, maybe this guy doesn't even use those words.
All of a sudden they start cussing. You're like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, then you're good. I used to trip out on old people when I'd be around my father, and like he'd bring people like his generation around, and I'd hear them cuss because my dad never like really cussed around us unless he was pissed off. And I'd be like, oh shit, is he gonna get in trouble? Is my dad gonna get him in trouble? Like, I thought my dad would be mad at him or something, you know, like because I didn't know. My dad used to get angry when somebody would use cuss words. So when his friends would say, oh, my dad's gonna get mad at him, but I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Now I do. What's up, man? You want to go over the results real quick?
Yeah. First all.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you guys can read that.
I put it a little closer to them.
I wish we could zoom in on this mic, but that basically says, "I'm not surprised, motherfucker." Oh. All right.
Damn, I didn't think so because I didn't see a U. I think there was a star there, asterisk.
Put a little star,
so it's like
right.
I'm not surprised, mother.
And there you have it.
Did you guys? So this is how I was thinking about it. I was kind of thinking of you, Brandon. I was thinking, okay. Brandon's, because we threw a party at my house. Yeah. And I knew that my fucking new cohort here, my new fighting vocal guy here, I knew he was at his fantasy football thing, and then they were going to watch the fight. And I was wondering how it went. I was like, dude, they were down on Belmont Shores, kicking it.
Oh, yeah.
Just probably having a blast.
Nice.
How did everything go, starting with the fantasy football?
It's great. My draft went well, and then capped it off with those fights.
Your draft went well. See, that's a whole nother subject, but I'm so curious on this.
We won't get into that.
No, I know. I know, but there's some people out there like, oh, they're going to talk about football draft? Fantasy draft? I have so many friends that are into this shit. Yeah. And I go, what the?
It's a separate show. It's a separate show.
No, it for sure is. And that's why I'm warning that people, if you're thinking we're going to talk about fantasy football, we're not. But I'm giving you a teaser because he's all into it. Yeah. He's a commissioner at one time. You guys are, I've been a commissioner too, out there reading this shit. No, we're talking about UFC 202 fights. We're not gonna F around here. We're gonna do some actual research because I got the computer here, and probably maybe get into the camera. I don't need to be in. I could be like I could be the guy. I could be like a Jamie. You guys do the podcast, and I'll be like just the voice in the background, looking up shit like he does.
Stats.
Fuck that. I want to gloat a little bit. Yeah. I want to gloat in the fact that I chose it to be run like this. We're going to start right off with the main event. We'll get into some other fights down, but I know everyone's like, oh, what about McGregor? I don't only want to hear shit about McGregor.
I could spend hours on that fight. So
yeah. Well, let's get into it. And I'm going to start with my perspective, and then you guys go from there, and then we'll see where we end up in the middle.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I sit down. I've been watching it on like a 140-inch screen. It's dark, but the screen's huge, and more and more friends start to pile into my main living room. And then there's a lot of people in the dining room area where the TV room's at, because I had it playing simultaneously on 2 different TVs. I had it playing on the PlayStation. We'll get into that soon. Okay, so I'm playing it on PlayStation because you got like a discount. It was like 10% off.
Okay.
So I fell for that.
Yeah.
Okay, PlayStation, but it's fun because whatever. I've watched movies and stream. I play video games. There's not a big deal. It's pretty spot on. There's never an issue. So I put it on. I get the $44.95 for the fight. Piling in, more and more people are coming by my house, and it's pretty not packed, but there's a lot of people watching. Yeah. And some of the prelims. You watch any of the prelims?
I did.
Oh, dude, what is your favorite prelim out of all of those?
Well, I'd have to say Cody Garbrandt, just because that guy's a stud. He could be fighting for the title next, and then he comes out and knocks him out. So that was awesome. Okay, so we will get into those later. But so basically, I watched the prelims. Nobody's there. I'm getting the house kind of ready. As we go into the Fox card, it gets good because some of the girls are fighting. There's some good fights. You got to watch the welder guy. He left. What is his name? Blonde guy, kind of tall. He left the UFC, got not kicked off the UFC, but the USADA got him for some type of tainted supplement. And Tim Means. Yeah.
Tim Means.
Yep.
Dude, I'm watching that fight. Yep. Now things are starting to really get interesting. Okay, this guy had a layoff of the UFC. If you don't know who Tim Means is, okay, so he's in the UFC. He's taken a supplement over the counter. And apparently there was some, I don't know the specifics. Do you know the specifics on it?
I don't.
So we won't speak on it and go into a whole long thing. But Tim Means got suspended from the UFC because of this tainted supplement, okay? And it's almost like the story that goes around. But, however, a lot of these companies are not governed by anybody. They don't have to report to anybody, so they list shit on their ingredients label. They let that thing fly to market, and that's why a lot of these guys, these professional athletes, are getting busted. So intentional, not intentional, man. Now he's starting to get into really drawing, splitting hairs, if you will, and this is where I kind of have an issue with it. Now, the Brock Lesnar thing, fuck it, grill him. When it's so intentional and you could see it within their physical structure, that's where it's like, okay, get the fuck out of here. So anyways, Tim Means is, dude, he's like just a regular dude.
Skinny guy, yeah.
Regular guy. You see his body, it's not like, oh, that guy's a fighter. No, it's just like, oh, that guy probably could be tough. And he got kicked off. So while he's off, he had to make an earning wage, and he started welding for $9 an hour.
Really?
So to watch him come back and win that fight was just awesome. It was just like, this is something he loves. This is how he makes his living. He's back in the game. He comes back with a fucking pretty dominated win. And so then it goes all the way on. People start showing up. We watched the Cowboy fight. A couple people watched that. Amazing fight. Watching Cowboy kick ass. And he was sick as fuck too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He had the flu or some weird
he had the
shit.
flu, I think, when or a headache too when he woke up.
Yeah, like a 24-hour flu or some weird shit that came through him. But he had a fight. He had to show up. And then we get into, the co-main event, which was super fast, super quick, and like, wow. We'll get into that right now. But to start with the main event, here we are as we have a rivalry already. Not just between two men, between men and their camps, the people they surround themselves by, and it extends out to the fan base. Just like Brandon showed, I'm not surprised, mofo. We have this thing to where now people who are just normal civilians that watch this for entertainment, they brand themselves as like they do football, or baseball, or hockey. I'm a Braves fan. I'm a Dodger fan. I'm a Laker fan. Like, fuck that other team. All of a sudden, if you're from that other area, now there's this feud that extends to that level.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I brought Steve here too because Steve was in San Jose when this fight went down.
Right by Stockton.
So Steve was like, I can't, I can't support McGregor at all over there.
It was just like, I had to find like somewhere to watch it. And it was the most difficult thing.
Oh, so you're a McGregor fan?
Yes, I love McGregor.
He's also stumbled on that.
He's also Diaz fan.
So you like both? You like both?
Yeah, I just love the art of mixed martial arts
and competition. But do you like certain people who play the game more than others?
Yeah, well, it's
there's 600 UFC fighters.
Well, see, I wrestled, so like I love the grappling aspect of how a lot of these fights start. But the match between them didn't go that route. So seeing them box when seeing someone that's not like a stand-up fighter do that. Diaz. You don't think he's a stand-up fighter? I think he is, but
dude, he's
mean on the ground though. Like,
no, I know he's mean on the ground, but that guy's been boxing since he was like 16 or 19 years old.
True.
Like for a long time, and
it just seems that
he really relies on his boxing first and foremost because there's so many different variables when you go to the ground that are not advantageous for. I mean, it really becomes down to where if you're on the ground now, anything can happen, and the transitions are different. Whereas if you're standing up, you can defend yourself and walk away unscathed, aka Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, that's true.
Who it didn't have to even. I mean, some guys get lucky. But where does it usually start with? It starts with like the last one.
You got to start on the feet, that's for sure. But the thing about Diaz, he's so well-rounded. So not a lot of fighters can say that. Is he a stand-up fighter? Absolutely. But guess what? If that shit goes to the ground, he's covered.
Okay,
he's got that. So he's very, very well-rounded.
Now I heard a podcaster commenter, UFC commenter. It wasn't Joe Rogan. It was one of the guy who kind of has a little lisp, and he looks like kind of like a rock star. Not too bad. He's not like the mod guy, but he's kind of like preppy. And he always wears the collared shirt with like pastels on him and weird shit. You seen that guy?
No idea who you're talking about.
He's an MMA commentator.
Okay.
And he does like a breakdown.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You know? Okay, well, anyways, you guys, it's one of those commentators. Anyways, he was making a breakdown saying like how people make so definitive conclusions to how a fighter fights or his condition that we've put these labels on it. Like you said that if it goes to the ground, it goes to the ground. I think so. And to tell you, Steve, about how how I think about it goes, why he wants to go to the ground is that he relies on the striking to give him the opportunity to approach the ground so he can walk out there without wasting a bunch of energy, scrambling around, and get it efficiently done. I think that's what, like the last fight, dude, it was a barrage and then a barrage back, and I thought, dude, he came so close. Diaz came so close to knocking McGregor to the floor that he would have taken him. Now, we see in the 5th round, which is not a really controversial round. We'll get into that. We're going to take a consensus because I believe we're all going to know what the controversial round is in that, where it scored the most even with option to go either way. Okay. But the 5th round, it's back in a 4th, and then all of a sudden at the very end, 30 seconds to go, Diaz takes him to the ground confidently.
There's about 9 seconds left.
Is it really?
Yeah. Okay. He took him down with 9 seconds, and look.
You watched this 5 times.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing about it is he took him to the ground with 9 seconds left. McGregor was done. Mm-hmm. He knew he could survive that 9 seconds on the ground, and that's it because the fight was over. The fight was won. And that's it.
You think it's just that way?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, dude. Really.
Okay, I honestly thought Diaz was going to capitalize on the ground game more just from how he won the last fight. I was expecting it to go straight to...
He didn't get the opportunity, then, brother.
Well, this is
almost
why.
Did.
This is why, though.
When he knocked down Conor against the fence, but Conor was sprung right back up. But that was the closest that Conor went to going to the ground from a hit from Diaz. Otherwise, Conor got loose and wobbly, but he never went down except for that one hit. I think it's in the 2nd round.
And people say, Diaz should have taken him to the ground. McGregor chopped down his leg the first 2 rounds. I don't care what anybody says. His leg was welted in purple.
Enough.
And you know what? Diaz has enough confidence in his game to keep the keep the fight standing up. But he tried to take McGregor down multiple times. McGregor wasn't having it. He kept him up. He knew he could not go to the ground.
I can't disagree, bro.
Diaz tried to take him down at least 5 to 6 times, and McGregor wouldn't let him do it.
Was that long? That many?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He tried to single leg, and he couldn't get that. And then
in the 3rd and 4th round.
Okay, including the single legs. Yeah. But the single legs don't necessarily mean trying to get a takedown. The double legs, trying to pull off. That was takedown. Yeah. But the single leg could be for control. True. I mean, if you watch some of those older fights with George St. Pierre, dude, a lot of times he single legs, gets against the cage, pushes a shoulder in, and then cracks on him. He didn't go. He didn't like to. He would rather strike. Well, he would rather strike. Most people would rather strike because it involves the infliction of pain and energy on the opposite person, puts them into a disarray. And then it's a lot easier to work a ground game if you need to go there. Yeah. If he's just so solid and he's so locked up that he won't go down, or he's defending enough to where the ref won't stop it, then you soften him up enough like what Diaz did in the first one, take the opportunity and go forward. McGregor surprised the shit out of me with, one, his leg kicks, like you said, Brandon.
Yep.
They were awesome. The first couple cracks, I was like, oh, this dude just brought a whole nother set of tools to this job site, something he didn't have on the last job site. The last job site, he had like a hammer, nails. I think he had a skill saw. Obviously we're trying to paint a picture here for some people that they're saying, well, tools.
For all you fanboys out there, it's called a game plan.
Yeah, but the definitely bringing when you're a fighter, you have a set of tools you use. Yeah. So you're a wrestler, right? Yeah. So if you and I go to the mats, I'm going to bring my tool set to try to compensate for the tool set that you... Now, I have a little bit of wrestling. I went to Army Navy Academy down in Carlsbad, and I did wrestling down there, and I did wrestling up in Lake Arrowhead for 6th and 7th grade. And then 8th grade, I was at the Army Navy camp. Oh, sweet. And I did wrestling for those 3 years. It's so funny. I have this fucking... Check this thing out. How's this, dude?
From your camp? That's sweet.
Fucking old, dude. I found that. I was like, oh, dude.
Shit.
I was born 1 year before you got that certificate.
Yeah, in wrestling. This is in recognition of outstanding participation in wrestling. This is certified award, Jason Medina. July 31st, 84. Damn. So that was 32 years ago?
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
He's not that
That's
old,
appropriate to say right there.
But Diaz, he did try to take McGregor down several times, not in the 1st or 2nd, but you saw him starting to take him down in the 3rd and 4th, only because he knew he was losing the fight. McGregor didn't let him. And
I don't think he because the way he explains it, Diaz did not think he was losing the fight. I don't think in his head.
Of course he did.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, he didn't.
No, because this is the thing is that he was wearing it was going almost exactly like the last one.
How did you think the fight went? Because I'm feeling like we got totally different perspectives on this.
Okay, first round, scored to McGregor, obviously.
Yep.
Okay. Nate got some, but if I have to pick sides, McGregor definitely dominated the
first round. I think we'll all agree McGregor won.
Yeah, but I watched it again. I have it recorded.
Yeah.
I had the phone. I wanted to get the fans' reaction, like everybody at the house, because sometimes it's so funny you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So I had the camera in that one room. I only have one camera. Okay. I could have brought my other camera. It's like simulcast. Yeah. The other room has to be kind of dark too. It's a projection screen. That's why it's 140 inches, and so I had to keep that room kind of dark. But the other one's got a plasma, so you can have. Everything's light, so I kept it in that room. Everyone bailed from that room and went into the big screen. Obviously,
yeah.
Fuck. So I watched it from that perspective. It's kind of like about that big in the screen. It takes about a third of the screen up, so it's a little bit. It's high def, but you got to pay attention. It's not like it's live in the Memorex right here. Yeah. So I watched it 3 times, and I was focusing on the strike, not so much the time, but the strikes and what was really effective. And I saw that Nate was actually being very effective the first round. It was the amount of volume that he was getting hit with from McGregor. Second round, it looks like, Diaz gets a couple pop shots off, does one of these, like, what's up? He's already been cracked a couple times. Yeah. And McGregor lays into him again pretty consistently. Now, again, it was back and forth. I watched the second round. This is why I watched the second round 5 times. Because I kept going back to the same round. I wanted to see what was so definitive about the second round. Because I have first round McGregor, second round I scored to Diaz, but it's fucking hold on. I know. Yeah. It's based on a bunch of shit that I saw that's very detailed. Okay, from a fighter standpoint. Third round I give it to Diaz.
Absolutely, third round he dominated. Yeah.
Okay, so I have second, third, and then I have fifth.
Okay.
Fourth round, fucking all of a sudden the Banshee came back alive, and started putting some damage on the fucking Diaz, because Diaz was starting to get a little bit tired.
This is why
he slowed down.
Yeah, and this is why I tell you Conor won the second round. He knocked him down twice.
Okay, but
he knocked him down twice.
But Diaz already knocked him against. Look at Diaz. The one of them that he got him, I think he just got him enough to where it was kind of like off balance, cracked him good, and it was kind of, he felt it, but he got right back, and it was like he hit the ground.
Well, he scooted forward. He let him back up.
No, he scooted forward to fucking approach him, and then he stood right up.
He let him back up.
No, when he let him back up, that was later on. If you watch, there's 2 knockdowns like that.
If he wanted to, he could have jumped on him any time.
Oh, I know,
but he didn't want to.
Yeah, of course, because that would have been a bad move.
But he left him back. Let him back.
Well, he did, because that's a bear trap. He can't fall into that bear trap.
That's the game
Diaz
plan.
is great off his back, and he figured, fuck it, I've already been learning my leg kicks. He let him back up. My point is there was a lot of real detailed shit that Diaz was doing that made me score that round to him. Dude, it was on the fucking line. Okay, and I want to take Diaz. I want to take McGregor's side on that. But
this is the thing. This is why I scored that.
But some of the stuff I saw in there.
That round to McGregor, he knocked him down, I believe it was 2 times. The first round he knocked him down once. The second round he knocked him down 2 times. If Diaz would have gotten 1 takedown in that round,
I agree.
You could score that fight to Diaz.
Also,
that round to Diaz.
But also the stuff that I saw him cracking him with, pressuring him, throwing elbows into. Dude, he was there's some of the stuff I slowed down and would watch in real slow increments, where it's so fast when you watch the fight, you don't see a lot of this shit that goes on, especially from a 2-dimensional perspective where we're at. So you miss a lot of the shadow, and seeing, I was like, oh, dude, he cracked him there too, where it doesn't look like he hits him. But if you slow down and go over some of those references, like, oh, dude, he was working the shit out of him. That's why, and this is why I'm going to say this. So about the first minute of the second round, McGregor was still firing off from the first round. Yeah. Okay?
He was.
And then
the leg kicks is another thing we need to talk about. He was
unimaginable, dude.
He was leg kicking him the whole first and second round.
Yeah.
And he got the knockdowns. Did Diaz get shots in?
He kicked him in the 4th round too.
Did Diaz get some shots in? Absolutely. But you know what? McGregor's aggressiveness with the leg kicks and the knockdowns scored him the fight, and that's what the judges saw, and that's how.
And I'm not mad with the score. I'm not mad with the outcome.
How could you be?
Yeah, because you could be if you're such a diehard. Hold on, if you're such a diehard fan within your eyes that you don't see any other fucking way? Like your team could do fucking 13 or 0-13, and you're like, go Detroit. It was a joke, but
well, that's
but you know what I mean?
Go
Diaz.
The fans, the camps, everybody was so emotionally invested that they were blinded. Look, it was a close fight. Was it a close fight? It was very close fight.
I know a lot of people who are that are pretty much on the fence and said McGregor took it. And then I have a lot of friends that are pretty much on the fence, like as far as like not being such a real MMA fight. Like they don't really watch a lot of MMA, and they don't really watch a lot of fighting, study fighting. Maybe they have a little bit of martial arts background. Excuse me, but the equal amount are Diaz supporters in the case of like, okay, I think he won the fight based on this, and this. Second, third, and fifth round. I mean, that's how I see it. A lot of people definitely agree.
I don't know how you give
okay, do you definitely,
second round.
Okay,
I just don't know how you
do you definitely agree that the first round was McGregor?
There's no doubt.
Okay,
yeah.
Do you definitely agree that the fourth round was McGregor?
Fourth round was McGregor, absolutely.
Okay, so
I
agree.
Second and fourth.
First and fourth round, definitely McGregor. Mm-hmm. The only where I see the difference, because we both agree that the third round was dominated by Diaz. Mm-hmm. We have to take that off the plate. Yeah. And the fifth round is kind of like in a hazy shade.
Kind of close, but then he got the takedown at the end of the fight, too.
Yeah, exactly. He did take the takedown. And
McGregor started gassing. He was kind of like resetting.
And McGregor didn't knock him down on that.
People say he was running, and that's fine. He was walking away, resetting, getting away, getting in out of the box.
There's two things to this.
Yeah.
Yes, he was scared of losing that fight, and that's why he was walking away. However, hold on. Let me finish.
I can't get out. I mean,
hold on. Let me finish.
I need to have after you're done. I need to have like 3 minutes to myself because you're doing a lot of talking here, Jay.
I know.
And I need to get my opinion out here.
I'm gonna let you go off on me in 3 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
McGregor was running because he thought, oh fuck, this could, because dude, he was beat up. Both of them were beat up. Mm-hmm. Okay, the difference is, fucking Diaz wasn't talking shit and not afraid to lose at all. McGregor couldn't lose this fight. Okay, I'm not saying it was staged by any means. I'm saying he was a smart fighter, dude. Sometimes you gotta fucking, dude. There was a time where I was fighting a big fucker. It was huge. Got into this barroom thing, and he was my roommate or my neighbor underneath us, and he was a big skinhead guy from prison. Oh shit! And I wasn't afraid of fighting him, but I was definitely running around the backyard like, bro, what are you doing, Rich? Like fucking trying to get away from him. Like, dude, I don't. You know, like, because he's so much bigger and strong, I didn't want to get knocked the fuck out. No. I'm not hating on McGregor for doing that. That's fighting. He just happened to fucking go, okay, I'm going to get in my spot. Why should I be up next to the cage where he can take me to the cage and burn out the clock and try to take me down, probably be successful? I'm going to stick to the plan, which is to stay in the middle of the fucking octagon, work my area space, not fucking do what 95% of the fighters do, which is they lock into place and they brawl it out, and they don't reset like McGregor does, and they don't use the octagon, the square footage, like McGregor does. Why is McGregor so fucking successful in UFC? Is because he's a smart fighter. He uses the ring, he uses his brain, and he uses the space and the speed that he has, and that's why he's becoming so successful. Am I a fucking total fan of him? I'm on the fence with McGregor, but I'll fucking call it straight out, Brandon. It was a great fight. If I was judging, honestly, at the time of the fight, I would have given it to Diaz. However, after reviewing so long and having hindsight, I'm leaning towards the McGregor side because of that second round, and that's why it's such a tricky round.
So here's my opinion, and that's good analysis. You say that McGregor, he's smart. So McGregor fought this fight more differently than he's ever fought any fight. Why is that? McGregor is always the bigger opponent. He is always putting the pressure on the other guy. This time it was different. Diaz was bigger. Diaz could put pressure on anybody because he always comes forward. As you were saying, even McGregor was saying he was a bloody zombie, and he was still coming forward, which would scare anybody, right? So anyways, first round, the game plan was chop his lead leg down. That's what he did. He chopped and chopped and chopped and chopped and chopped. First round, knocked him down once too. Okay, round one, McGregor's looking good. Looking a lot like the last fight, right? Okay, cool. Let's see how the second round goes. It was a little closer of a fight. However, McGregor, again with the leg kicks, kept kicking his leg, lead leg, kick, 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 kick. Knocked him down once or twice. I'd have to watch that round again. Didn't go down, He said, get back up, motherfucker. I'm not going down to the ground with you because I know you can beat me on the ground. Let him back up. McGregor is always in the center of the octagon with all his fights. Not this time. Not this time. Diaz was backing him up. And McGregor didn't start walking away from him until he got gassed. He got gassed in the 3rd round, and then I was like, by the way, I was so nervous watching this fight. In the 3rd round, I was talking to my buddy. I was like, he's gassed. I'm worried now. He's gassed. But he was smarter this time. He knew he was tired. So what did he do? He went in the pocket, boom, 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 backed out. You can call it running if you want, but he walked away from him, reset, caught his breath, then went back into the pocket. They asked John McCarthy, the guy who reffed the fight.
You're gassed right now.
I'm gassed. So they asked John McCarthy, they're like, why don't you take points away from a guy that's running? He's listen, let me just educate all you guys.
This is what he said? It was an interview?
Yeah, in an interview.
Okay,
he said, let me educate you guys about running. There's a difference between running and what McGregor did. He said McGregor reset, caught his breath, and then went back in the action. If there's a guy that was ever running, if you ever saw the Anderson Silva Polaris fight, I believe it was, where I think it was Polaris. He just kept laying on the ground, didn't want to get up.
Who?
Polaris.
Spider? Oh, okay.
Polaris, because he didn't want to strike with Anderson Silva. McGregor would reset, walked away, then engaged again.
He did what was smart.
People can call it running, and it was a bit of, getting out of not wanting to get hit, but it was smart. It was his game plan. He didn't want to go to the ground. And he knew that he couldn't keep taking those shots, otherwise he would probably get knocked down. So he reset. Hold on. He reset, by the way, and I scored at McGregor the 1st, 2nd, and he got the 4th round. And
so we universally think that the 3rd and the 5th went to Diaz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so see this whole, and this is 99% of the people out there. Okay, I'm guessing, pulling fucking bro science out of my ass. 99% of those people out there, that's what it is. We all agreed that the 1st and 3rd round went to McGregor. Sorry, 1st and 4th round went to McGregor, and the 3rd and the 5th round went to Diaz. And the 1% think a little differently. And then the other 99% also think that it's either split, that 99% split in half.
And one of the judges saw it split in that 2nd round, probably. Yeah. That's why they scored it a tie.
Yeah, exactly.
This would be a
10-8 round on the 3rd round, though. That's why he scored the 3rd round as a 10-8 round.
Is that what it was? I didn't see that
that's why it's tied.
But the thing about it is, it'd be one thing if it was a split decision. It wasn't. It was a majority decision.
It was a majority decision.
And I thought they got it right.
Because 2 versus 1.
They got it right.
Well, and 1 was not even a hole on the other side. It was, again, that would give it a split decision. This was in the middle, like, hey, we call it a draw. Right. You're not giving points to really anybody. It was kind of just a draw.
And I thought the judges' scorecards were right on. Right on.
Bro, there was no, look, I'm not mad at I can't be mad at the outcome, especially because usually judges are so fucking far off on the way they scored it. That was a fair score.
I bet people when I was at my fantasy draft on that, and they all the 3 people came up to me and handed me money, and they said, you won the fight. And I said, I'll take your money back. I'm not accepting the money because I've seen judges' decisions, and this is such a close fight that it could go either way.
It could.
It could go either way.
If we go back and analyze all the great things that McGregor did, dude, he put on a clinic. Dude, he was impressed. That's why so many people are impressed. Yeah. Nobody can talk dude.
Nobody can talk shit on either
What's
fighter.
Diaz's buddy? I can't think of.
Jake Shields.
There you go. Thank you, Jake Shields. See, this is why I love having him here. Jake Shields. They interview him after, and he was very honest. McGregor is.
I thought so too.
McGregor is a hell of a fighter. He says it was an outstanding fight.
They wouldn't exactly admit it that he won.
Well, because they saw it like I saw it. Okay, and maybe it's a biased position. Okay, maybe it is. I'm not going to argue that it couldn't be, because that works on our psyche a lot. Okay, if you're not vested, you're more likely probably to pick towards McGregor. Okay, let's just put it that way.
True.
If you're not vested, you're probably going to pick McGregor. If you're vested, now now we're splitting hairs between, if you have 3 people, 2 out of 3 probably going to pick McGregor. True. You know. I just think for every 3 people you get in a room, you're going to probably pick one Diaz supporter out of those.
Yeah.
And because the casual person is going to probably lean towards the McGregor guy, because it was outstanding. and fucking like you
Such
said,
a great fight,
homeboy
man.
looks, dude. That's his new moniker. It's just.
And you know
blood
what?
coming from his fucking all over his face and him going.
You know what?
They were warriors. It was like it was like barbaric to see these guys in there just.
It's called you lay everything out on the line, and they both were willing to die in that octagon. And this is another reason why I believe McGregor won, where all these Diaz fans say, "Oh, Diaz won." Was it a close fight? Absolutely. But guess what? There wasn't a scratch on McGregor's face.
What?
Yeah, look at him post-fight. There wasn't a scratch. I think he had like a little bruise on
he
his
had some
cheek.
scratches.
What I'm saying is, look at Nate's face after the fight. It was a bloody mess. Conor knocked him down 3 times. If you just go off of how they looked and the knockdowns, you can't argue McGregor lost.
This is where I'm going to say that. Okay, this is what it looks like. From the standpoint, and I'm going to give props to McGregor. McGregor hits harder than Diaz because he places the shot better. If you analyze,
I think he has more power too.
But because he places. Look, I don't know about. There's no way for me to rate the power.
Well, Diaz doesn't have power. What he does is he throws in volume.
Hold on, but this is where that guy, that commentator that we were talking about earlier, how he was talking about analytics and people analyzing certain fights unless you're really in the cage and really absorbing some of these different variances of volume and power from these different strikers, it's hard to really guess just by gauging with our eyes because we're not in the cage. However, I think because the way that McGregor aims and is precise, he's able to put the complete power onto his opponent. This is why I think that their power might be the same. Have you ever tried to strike a nail, with a hammer? Let's just say a ball peen, really cornery, the edge, and you fucking go with a punch of might, but you barely hit it, and the nail doesn't go at all. But somebody who can go a couple inches above with like preciseness and whack it almost all the way down onto the bottom, and you go, dude, you didn't even go from way here. You were right here, and you used the energy perfectly, the placement, and all the power went right on the head enough to drive that nail all the way down. And I think that's what's similar with Conor McGregor. He is so, dude, he's laser. This is no bullshit.
No,
like when he talked about laser guided punches, dude, it's like he's got a little red dot in his eye, and he cracks fools very accurately with precision, and he keeps the power linear. All the power shoots straight down and across. That left, dude, and that uppercut, he's got a right uppercut, he's got a left uppercut, and he's got that left fucking. It's almost like a
straight left is his most deadly weapon. Yeah, because he's a southpaw, and that's what people aren't prepared for. They're not used to fighting southpaws. Well,
Diaz is a southpaw, and he trains for mostly. Obviously, it's hard for him. Look, the majority of people are right-handed.
Diaz a southpaw?
Yeah, he's a southpaw.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Well, I can do it right here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No, we got the.
You might be right.
Yeah. Well.
No, I'm left-handed. I like southpaw.
Well, I like to switch it up. I play pool southpaw. I've been learning to draw and write southpaw, left-handed. Really trying. I've been switched.
I'm weird though. I'm left-handed, but I throw with my right.
A lot of my sisters like that.
Ambidextrous. My dad's like that too. Yeah.
I can kick with both feet.
Well, but ambidextrous to me is completely the same on both sides, no matter what. It's like they call it
cross dominant.
Okay, cross. See, look at dude. Fuck. These guys, I bless these guys for being here. This is amazing. We're putting down real words and content like cross domination, cross dominant. Yeah. So I've been working on my left side, like riding the bike, the motorcycle, the skateboard, goofy footed.
Yeah, I switch
and
a
such
lot.
like that.
Yeah.
So when you get a fighter like McGregor in here, who's, I mean, like I said, it's all laser guided. He's putting down the power all the way down. You know, like if you use motorheads out there. The analogy of like a clutch or transmission, you may have a huge motor, but if your transmission, the transfer from the drivetrain, the transfer from that power to putting the wheels on the ground, that is where everything's at. You can have the biggest motor in the world, but if your transmission, the transition, if you will, from power to laying down the horsepower, the work to the ground, such as when McGregor goes and fights, he has so much horsepower. And he puts down a tremendous amount of that fucking power through the transmission or the transition of his punches. And that's what was fucking up. Dude, he aims too. Don't you think he knows that fucking Diaz has all that scar tissue? Like he says, that soft pretty face or that soft, ugly face of his. Okay, he says that because that means he knows. Okay, if I cut him open over the eyes, he's gonna bleed a lot. It's gonna be hard for him.
And he was having problems with seeing in that fight too.
Dude, this is McGregor is a warfare genius. That's what makes him such a great fighter.
But what won him this fight was the game plan.
Yeah, genius.
Nothing else.
He stuck with it.
He had a great game plan going in, and that's what I thought he had to do to beat him, and that was the only way he could beat him.
Do you think
that great game plan? Do
you think that the game plan that you say, like quote unquote, and it's not that I totally disagree with the word game plan. However, you can't foretell where a fight's gonna go. You can have the best game plan in the world, but a fight goes the way not your game plan. All of a sudden, the fight's there. Now you're fucked. I think McGregor is so brilliant at fighting.
Well, he adjusts in the fight.
He has a certain plan, and I think it's like a plan of attack that is almost like a rainbow. He starts off with, okay, this is what I'm going to plan to do. But if I see the fight transitioning to this other part of the rainbow, the different spectrum, then I'm able to adjust all the way in across. Not be so stuck on what I got a game plan that all of a sudden I find myself in a triangle fucking choke, 3rd, 4th round down, which could have been super possible in this fight.
After the first 2 rounds, yours.
And you get into this point where, you know, he's, like I said, dude, I'm trying to put props to the guy because watching the fight from that level, man, Brandon, dude, I agree with you, bro. The guy's, he's legitimate, dude. He's a legitimate threat. Now
let's talk about this.
I don't know why people say hype. Why do they say
this? Is what I want to talk about because so many people, I've been talking to so many people and reading so many things how McGregor is still hype. Let me just lay this down for you.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, we're skipping around.
No. This is where I want to go because you said, is McGregor hype? I love it.
Because I've been hearing people, oh, he's hype. He's still hype. People are saying, oh, he did whatever. Let's talk about his wins, okay? Comes in the UFC. Okay, he fights.
Hold on, you keep going. I'm grabbing a beer for both of us.
Go for it. So I'll lay this out while you're grabbing your brewski. He comes in. He beats Max Holloway. Goes to a decision, but Max Holloway,
who is a beast,
who's the number one contender, right?
He's a fucking nightmare.
He's the number one contender. He goes out. He beats Max Holloway, right? A lot of you guys may not know who Dustin Poirier is. Okay, fight fans know who he is. He is legit. Goes out, knocks him out. First round, I believe it's first round. Okay, so he goes out, knocks him. Then he goes to fight for the title against Jose Aldo. He pulls out. He's a little bitch. And then Chad Mendes comes in.
Wait, what did he pull out?
He pulled out. Jose.
What did you say after that?
Something vaginal.
Did you say a little bitch?
Right.
So
anyways, it's all good.
You are a McGregorite.
So, I'm just laying out the facts.
No, I'm just saying McGregorite, though, for sure.
Sure, of course. So he comes in, Chad Mendes. He beats Chad Mendes. Knocks him out. Oh, he only had 10 days in camp. Oh, okay. Beats him. Then he fights the champ. The champ who hasn't lost in 10 years. Let's put that in perspective. 10 years. Knocks him out in 13 seconds.
Hold on. Can I be a devil's advocate real quick while you're on that subject?
Sure.
10 years. Never lost a fight. They never had anybody as big as Conor McGregor fight 145, dude. The guy's super tall, and the weight that he normally carries is super big. So his method of, I don't even know how his method is of cutting weight. He's able to bulk right back up right after that weigh-in because he looks like Skeletor on weigh-ins. And now even with more leniency, more hours, he's got another 10, 11, 4, 5 hours earlier that he can weigh in and then start getting back into hydration.
Well, that wasn't in place when he fought Jose Aldo.
I know. I'm saying, but even then, to look at that now, okay? Like, look at him. I'm saying, okay, so if you go back to even to then, Skeletor to still fucking being rapidly not looking like Skeletor when he steps out onto the ring. That's all I'm saying. Like, that doesn't take away from him. I'm not saying
to me it's a moot point because he still weighs in at 145. But if you can weigh in at 145,
guaranteed,
doesn't matter.
But it does in the case of, and a lot of people say, okay, was the fucking 13-second knockout, was that a fucking fluke? Dude, I'm going to say a lot of it.
Like a 4-second knockout was his fastest?
I don't know, but that was 13 seconds.
That was his fastest.
That was probably his fastest, yeah.
Okay.
What are you going to say?
Laser guided.
Yeah.
Put the power to the ground, but almost a fluke. Hold on. Almost a fluke.
Totally disagree.
Hold on. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
to a good conversation without him throwing water balls at me.
I got a beer bottle now.
Great.
So you think it was a little fluky?
There's just a tad. Just look at precision and timing and just look at the draw, bro. The Irish luck. He's Irish.
He hit him too at the same time.
Because the Irish luck. Look at the Irish. Dude, Aldo got cracked and seriously get the timer going, dude, and you're talking fractions of a second. He hits him. It's just he was already out and he didn't have the power behind there. Exactly.
If he didn't get hit, would that have
we might have seen a Rocky fucking movie where both guys are laying on the fucking floor unconscious. I'm not kidding around, bro. That could have been, you're talking about a fractions of a second because he did clip him. And dude, that's the only point. Dude, he got clipped.
Yeah.
You could see him. Dude, McGregor's face goes boom like this. It wasn't enough to fucking take him out though, because homeboy was again.
And let's say this about McGregor.
It was amazing, dude. Come on.
Hey, McGregor has a chin.
Anthony Johnson did it this weekend to a fucking rhinoceros, Brazilian rhinoceros.
Did you see him try to like grab a single leg on the
Yeah.
Oh, the ref. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was out.
I thought he was still fighting.
He was like, I'm good.
He was out.
Good.
Dude, he woke up.
I want to say this. You watched The Fighter and the Kid, and I started watching it because you mentioned it to me, so I started watching the podcast. They had Rappaport on.
Do you like it?
Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. Yeah. So Rappaport was on. He's like, wasn't that a lucky shot? He was saying this
because he doesn't like McGregor,
and no, he hates him.
Yeah.
And
well,
Brendan Schaub.
That's a hard word.
No, he said he hates. He said he hates him.
Oh my god.
But Brendan Schaub said absolutely not. That was 100% accuracy and skill.
Brendan Schaub is a fanboy.
How do you say that? He fought in the UFC.
No, but he's a fanboy of him.
Why?
Well, because they did an interview with him and they thought he was a stand-up guy. I've never met the guy. I can't I can't say on that level.
Okay, let me
There's
tell
only
you
so
the
much we can see through the screen right here.
Let me tell you the definition
Have you met him?
of a fanboy.
Have you ever met him?
Who?
McGregor.
No.
Okay.
No. But I'm going to Ireland next year.
Are you gonna go meet him?
Maybe I will.
I might have to go with you, dude. I'll go meet him. I mean,
let me.
He's an amazing fighter. I don't know him. I've never met him.
Hey, I would love to meet Diaz. I would love to meet Diaz. I'm a big fan of him.
I would be scared to meet him.
But let me tell you what the definition of a fanboy is, because I think you're a little misguided on this.
Okay.
A fanboy is somebody who watches the UFC every 2 to 3 months when they have time. A fanboy. Brendan Schaub not only fought in the UFC, he probably watches every single fight. Fanboy isn't just because, I like McGregor. No, he likes McGregor. He also likes
If you asked him, he would say he's a fanboy.
No, that's not what a fanboy is.
No? You don't think so?
Fanboy
I'm a fanboy of RDA.
It's not a fanboy. You're a fan.
Dude, I'm a fanboy. Like if I see him, it's like, dude, RDA is over there. I'm going to get a picture
you're not a fanboy. You're a fan. What's fan short for?
It's almost like a bandwagon.
Fanatic.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fanboy is somebody who thinks they know what they're talking about, but they really don't, because they don't watch it.
Well, on the bandwagon because it's a big fight.
We have a different definition of it.
Yeah.
What is the urban definition of it?
I don't know. Look it up. I think it's just a made-up word. Might not even be there, but...
so that's what a fanboy is. Just a
fanboy is somebody who thinks they know what they're talking about, but if you ask them questions, they can't really answer them.
Makes sense.
I think it's different.
But I'm a fan of McGregor, and I'm a fan of Diaz. I'm just a bigger fan of McGregor. So what is it?
Okay, so it's a male fan, especially who is obsessive about his...
But read that other definition there.
Right here. A person who is completely loyal to a game or company, regardless of if they suck or not.
There you go.
Yeah, fanboy. A pathetic insult of often used by fanboys themselves to try to put whatever, a beer burp on the radio.
Yeah.
I just think that he's a fanboy.
Who's a fan? Brendan Schaub?
Yeah, I'm a fanboy.
He does like McGregor.
Like I said, I'm a fanboy of RDA. Like,
yeah.
I was fucking devastated about the fucking tramp. Again, okay, like you said, okay, you might have a point, Brendan. Like, okay, I'm a fan. Okay, I get it because I do.
You're not a fanboy. You know UFC very well.
RDA got his ass kicked, and it hurt. Mm-hmm. It hurt to watch that.
But that's why you're not a fanboy. You can admit that.
But he knows it too, though. Like RDA knew it.
Let's transition to that winner-loser type deal thing.
Okay, that's perfect. Dude, what a perfect, what's the word?
Transition.
Segue.
There you go.
A perfect segue. Like, I always think of the little cart.
Those are weird, by the way.
Have you ever done them drunk?
Yeah. No.
You can go do them in Vegas. on the strip.
Like those tours?
Well, if you're in Vegas, you're probably hammered. So I went hammered, and I went and did it, and I did the course. Yeah, I did a course perfectly. I fucking, no problems. It was rad.
That's awesome.
And it was hammered. I said, I did it hammered. Yeah.
I drove one time, and it was the weirdest thing. It was like a first gen one, but like
first gen. What gen are they on?
I don't know. Yeah, they're like, some of them have like off road tires and all this stuff.
Oh shit!
But they like, you drive it and like you turn, and it was awkward. You got to get used to it.
Yeah, it definitely is. RDA, Rafael dos Anjos. He is a Brazilian citizen. He's over here. I don't know if he's trying to get a citizenship.
Did you see what he tweeted during that fight? In the third round, he goes, "Did you guess already?"
Oh shit, that's what that.
I
thought he was because I got it late, and I was like wondering maybe he was rolling with somebody. I didn't even get that. Oh fuck,
he ate his words. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
You know, again, he was at a press conference where McGregor was ruffling feathers and calling even fucking light heavyweights out, dude, and everyone's looking at him like, "Are you serious, dude? Fucking Anthony Johnson will pile you into the ground as a steak."
I don't think he's calling light heavyweights.
I'm just saying.
He's calling everybody out.
Dude, he called everybody out in the WWE.
Everybody's on the
except for Jim McMahon, who's going to pay him a fucking big, handsome dollar to go on.
He would be great in the WWE.
Dude, he's going on the WWE.
He should.
That's what they're leaking right now.
He should.
RDA, the biggest winner / loser. Okay. Now this was brought up by the Herd, Colin Cowherd. Is that what his name is? Colin Cowherd?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Not a coward, but Cowherd. He's mentioning after this fight, which is probably the best fight he's seen in 20 years, that boxing is dead.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
That was a stretch because I go to this local venue that my buddy puts on. He puts it on here at the hangar at OC Fair. And I have to be honest, it's called Fight Club OC. Okay. He puts on a mixed, what he calls a hybrid card.
Yeah, boxing and MMA, right?
And it's amazing.
Does it flip-flop like every other one?
Pretty much. And
does it? That's cool.
And it got me so back into watching boxing.
Yeah.
And to care about boxing. And it was awesome for boxing. Now, granted, when MMA fights come on, it's like the dessert at the meal, okay?
Yeah.
But there's nothing dude, if you could watch a hybrid card with boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and MMA, boner.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, for Colin Cowherd to come out and say this was his big thing. I don't know if you know this. I watch Cowherd almost every day. He was out the whole week, so he wanted to come back and just after that fight have like some epic statement that'll just rattle the internet waves across the nation.
Yeah.
The best fight in 20 years. Look, I watched UFC fights. I've seen hundreds of UFC fights, maybe thousands. I don't know. And I'm sure you have too, Jay. Was that a great fight?
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin and commercial.
All right, pause. We're pausing real quick.
Fight Club OC. Check it out at the hangar. These guys are awesome.
So he came on and he said that was the best fight he's seen in 20 years. I've watched hundreds of fights. Was it a great fight? It was an epic fight. Probably in my top 10 UFC fights, believe it or not. I'll check this out.
So these are the two different cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
But was not the best fight I've seen in the last 20 years.
No.
Come on, dude.
Dude, it was pretty fucking amazing.
It was epic. Like I said, probably in my top 10.
Definitely in my top
best fight
3 to 5
in the last 20 years. And to say that was the nail in the coffin for boxing, that's a ridiculous statement.
Well, I don't agree with that. Like I said, I've been when he said that, I was like, what? I think it's a resurgence of boxing right now. I think boxing's getting blood back in it. I really do. If you go to these cards, dude.
Can you name 5 boxers right now?
I can't name 5 albums, okay? And I love music.
You can't name 5 boxers right now. There are no names. There's no names in boxing right now.
There is. It's just right now, I've had a lot of beers, and I had some extracurricular earlier.
I'll tell you the names in boxing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And relevant guys.
Yeah,
okay, right?
I'm named 5 guys, yeah.
So, like, the Guadalajaran guy, Chavez, right? His name's Chavez.
You're talking about Canelo?
Canelo, sorry. See, again.
He's Mexican, by the way.
Yeah. He's from Guadalajara, is Mexico.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
He's real light skin. He's got blonde hair.
Yeah, he's
redhead.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the names.
We have him. Yes, we have. Dude, again, it's
Ward.
like finding.
You can talk about Andre Ward.
Okay, there you go. See, it's like fucking albums.
American.
United States or American?
Triple G.
Hold on, you said American. Is he from Canada?
Triple G.
No, he's from
the U.S.
Brazil. No.
Well, I have a whole rant, Steve. Is it Steve or Steven?
Steve, whatever. Steve. Yeah, it's all good.
I have a rant on one of my podcasts talking about people who call United States America. It's a pet peeve I have.
I kind of.
Because the United States is not America.
Explain.
It is, but it's not. It's part of. It's just as much of America as Mexico is and Canada.
What?
The Americas.
Yeah, there's no
Explain.
There's no country called America.
Okay.
There's a soccer team called America. But there's no country called America. There's only continents that are called America. It's technically, by Google, it says North America, South America. In school, I learned that Central America was actually its own continent in itself. But I think now South America has absorbed it because I'm not seeing it anywhere anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was still a continent.
It's 7 continents. There's supposed to be 7 continents.
Huh.
But they say, So anyways, America is not considered a country. It's a continent. It's United States of America. It'd be like Sudan of Africa.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or China of Asia.
I see your point from that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you say somebody's Asian,
that's why when they have Copa America, it's Cup of America.
Cup of America, yeah.
It's all
United States of America. And dude, Canada's at the most northern front of America. I mean, it's still the Americas, right?
I didn't say America. I said he's American.
I know, for sure. Yeah. And I get it.
But I guess you could say that.
And I don't have a problem with it because we all are Americans. Just like if you went to Africa and you called anybody from Sudan or Nigeria or any of those places, Libya, you all call them Africans.
Yeah.
They're all Africans, just the same as Asia. Japan, Philippines, China,
Europeans,
Taiwan. They're all going to be Asian.
Yeah.
You know.
The point is, okay, there's only a few names. There's only a few names in boxing.
I love you.
There's not a lot of names, right?
You're right.
So there's not a lot of names.
There's a couple of guys here that
and
are pretty
boxing
good.
is, since Mayweather left and now Pacquiao's, who knows what's going on with him. It's kind of dying down. I would say that there's not a lot of UFC blows it away. But it's not dead.
I'm going to have a couple of these guys
It's not dead.
You want to be on here when we put one of these guys on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking rap.
And I disagree boxing's dead. I think Coward's out of his mind for saying that. Seriously.
He's out of his mind. He's fucking crazy.
No.
Oh my God, that's great.
No, like if you're a boxer, you get more, right?
Well, it depends on who you are.
Yeah,
it depends on who you are. Do they make more money overall? Not if your name is Conor McGregor.
That's true.
But yes, absolutely. By far, they make probably more money.
There's no difference in boxing, MMA, baseball, basketball, football. If you don't have key players in the game, so to speak, and you brand them a certain way, or those guys don't know how to brand themselves, you look at every great sports person that's in any of those sports I just mentioned, including soccer, football, okay? You have people who are a little bit different. Dude, tennis. When you think tennis and you think just being brandish and very, very outspoken, who do you think of? I mean, you guys are young too. Who do you think of?
Tennis?
Tennis.
You think of McEnroe.
Exactly.
Bingo. Yeah. And you guys are of a fucking decade different generation than me. McEnroe. It's like Crayola crayons for crying out loud. You know? The Whirlpool fucking dishwasher. Like, dude. Duct tape.
Household name.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So when you start to talk about certain brands, McGregor is able, like he said, McGregor, and dude, I'm not, maybe I'm a fucking fanboy and I don't even know it. I'm a closet fanboy about this guy because he does, I said it before, I'm going to digress a little bit. I said it before, when he didn't show up, decided not to show up for those media obligations, I was like, good for him. Fuck everybody else. Like, dude, this guy's fucking doing...
He's training.
No. He's traveling constantly doing...
But he was training at the time.
I'm not saying he's not. Yeah. Okay, but if you're a professional fighter, you have to train.
Yeah.
You have to. So, that's just his life, though. Yeah. I'm not talking about his life.
His training camp.
It's just like you have to sleep. He's got to get sleep, too. We know that. He's got to sleep. He's got to eat. He's got to train. That's a given. He had to fucking travel nonstop around the world, constant, almost to the point where it's almost a 24-hour interview, because no matter where you go, whether it was radio, TV, cable, internet, or how's this, random fucking, what is he? He's got those he's got paparazzi definitely following where he goes, and interviewers who follow the paparazzi to take sidewalk interviews, elevator interview. How many times is he just cruising? He's probably going from one interview to the next, and in between an interview, he's being interviewed.
Yeah, he's always in it. He always. Yeah.
That's my point. No, you see it. You see people pulling mics up to him and talking to him, keeping it on the street. No one can actually fathom, and he keeps saying this, no one can fathom how much work he was doing to promote that, to make the UFC all the fucking money. And because of that, he says, like, hey, dude, give me a fucking break. I'm nonstop for you guys. I just made you a ton of cash. And good for him.
And UFC was making a lot of money off that media run.
This is what it was. UFC was making this amount of money as a standard, and their goal would kind of fluctuate here, and it would hit higher months.
Another level.
Then you get Dana. I almost want to call him Dana Carvey. Dana White.
Then there was who?
You get Dana White to come in. Hold on. You get Dana White to really put his foot down. He sees something. He sees, you know, he got the fighter, the Ultimate Fighter. They got the chicks coming on. He's done a lot of things, and he sees this cat, and he sees a potential, and they bring him on. All of a sudden, he's a star because he fucking just knew what's up.
Yeah.
And well, he could talk.
He studied people. He knew what was up. He knew a business model that would work.
True or false? McGregor's the biggest star UFC has ever had.
True.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
I think he's...
I would say behind GSP, probably started it, and then behind Rousey.
He's in front of him. He's in front of both.
Well, he's ahead of both of them.
He's ahead of both.
If GSP could talk... that would be insane.
Yeah, he's too nice.
He's too nice and humble. He's my favorite fighter.
For sure. He's a great fighter, and he's
getting real close.
And he's right there. However, with the amount of people that know about UFC now versus the time when GSP was at the top of his
by leaps and bounds now.
He doesn't have the volume. He doesn't have that McGregor volume. It's so funny because it really works in that fashion when you describe his volume. It's not just his punching. It's not just the verbiage. It's his overall persona. It's his volume of persona, whether it's newspaper, radio, TV, cable, internet, fucking outer space, floating in the ether. There's this thing about him that people are attaching onto that makes it Mystery Mac. Like, okay, does this guy have like a fucking portal that he fucking came in and out of, and he's juicing it, and he knows he's going to win and lose all these already fights predestined? Like, he's already seen himself fight? Like, is he a time traveler? Because the guy's... pretty fucking... I'm not saying that he called this fight by any means, but he's pulling stuff out that's... I mean...
he just believes in his ability so much.
Okay, this will be the test, dude. If he fucking decides to go up against Eddie Alvarez at 155, dude...
let's talk about this.
And beats him, then I'm sold. Then I'll go, okay.
I can't believe you're not sold already. See, this is what... hey, how can you not be sold on this guy by
Eddie
this
Alvarez
time?
is a fucking nightmare for him.
Okay, look though.
A nightmare.
People will put right now Jose Aldo above him. Right now.
I'll put RDA above him. I'll put Eddie Alvarez above him.
Eddie Alvarez hasn't done half of what Jose Aldo has done.
Hold on, just hear me out.
Yeah.
As far as dominating McGregor, and this is putting props back to your boy. I only see Eddie Alvarez being a problem for him. Khabib Yakamenov or whatever. Nurmagomedov, sorry. Khabib,
don't sleep on Tony Ferguson. El Kukui.
He's top 5.
Going to be the next
RDA and
RDA. You're out.
Maybe even Cowboy.
Yeah, Cowboy would pose some problems.
Because Cowboy's going back to 155. Whether Cowboy knows it or not, he's going back to 155.
Well, Cowboy may not fight in the UFC ever again.
You don't think so?
He's a free agent.
Dude, come on. Dude.
Bellator's going to give him a ton of money.
They would, huh?
Oh, yeah. I don't think he'll be back in the UFC, believe it or not.
I do. It's his home, dude. It's his home.
Look, what does Cerrone go after? Cerrone wants money. You ever watch Cerrone and like...
okay, but Cerrone knows his home, and Cerrone knows what's at the brink of being stupendous, if I may say.
You know what, man? To me, could he be a champion? Sure, he could be a champion. He's that good, but he's kind of a gatekeeper in the UFC. He's always in the top 3, but never could get it done. And then when he fought for the title, he just kind of...
yeah, but in Bellator, 170's been really good.
He'll go make millions more, and he'll probably become the champ. Because he's that much better than everybody else.
He wants the best fights, and he knows it's limited amount of time.
He wants the best money.
Yeah, but he also finds... come on, dude, look at... Let me give you an example of something that's also about money and somebody who has that fucking... This goes right along... Again, a lot of people may tune in that like MMA, and some people won't. they're not really MMA fans, but maybe they tune into the podcast because I talk about all kinds of shit. And this is one of those times where I integrate a real life situation into fighting. If you own a business such as I do, and I make a commodity that sells consistently worldwide to different users that consume this product and then repurchase it. Okay, so I know the value of my business. I know the value of my time. I know the value and the cost of what it takes to put into there. Okay, such as a fighter does when they train, when they go to the gym, when they're constantly on a diet, and when they show up to work for a particular company, like I do. It's not a multi-million-dollar company, but it does okay. Now, let's look at Donald Cerrone, what he puts in. He doesn't bring in the multi-million dollars like Diaz McGregor. We know this. Okay, we pretty much know what he's pulling in. Yeah. But he's happy there. I have an opportunity to sell my business right now to become part of this big conglomerate, and I'm yet to pull the trigger because this is my home, and it'll change if I switch over to this other home that's going to pay me a lot of money. They're going to give me a job. They're going to give me cash for the fucking business. They're going to set me on a pension. They're going to do all this shit. It's going to be like
what's holding you back?
What Cowboy would do if he went to Bellator.
What's holding you back?
The same thing that's probably holding Cowboy back to UFC. And I'm a free agent too.
Can I be brutally honest with you? It sounds like you're describing is complacency. You're comfortable.
Well, yeah, because it's also I'm dear to this place.
That too, I get it. And you have so much. Your
I
mom
work
and
hard.
your dad.
That's why
it's
I
a
started
family business,
and that's why I started the podcast, because I definitely wanted to branch out and start my own creative thing that may or may not lead. It's all about the creativity and the fun first. It's not about any kind of money. I pay for this entire fucking thing out of my pocket. I don't have any sponsors. I don't cut to commercial. I just keep it what it is, and I'm supplying the fundage for this because it's something I'm passionate about. Now, one day, would I like it to pay for itself? It'd be great. I don't want to rip anybody off, but it'd be nice. Yeah. Especially if I'm getting that thing. But it comes from the heart. And like Donald Cerrone, it comes from the heart. UFC's close to him. He said, man, UFC's my home. Now, am I saying he wouldn't jump at a Bellator thing if it's the right thing and the right matchups?
See, I don't know him. I don't know him that
Bellator. Well. I predict, and they're starting to take stars from the UFC. They took Benson Henderson. They took Mitrione. They're taking a loss.
But those guys are kind of like at the top 10 mark.
What are you talking about? Benson Henderson was a champ.
Yeah, he was a champ. But I'm saying he got fucking finished by a lot of different dudes since then. And he had a lot of issues within the UFC of performing. Like, he was just not at the top of his game. Didn't he get the finish last time when he is he champion right now?
No, he lost.
He lost.
He fought for the title and lost.
Exactly, over in Bellator.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, I think Cerrone leaves.
Well, I don't.
We'll see. What's that chat?
But we'll see. I mean, you were right about the Anthony Johnson. You picked Anthony Johnson,
and I'm wrong about a lot of stuff. But yeah, I picked Anthony Johnson to knock him out.
You picked Conor.
First round. Picked Conor, which it's a great fight, man.
Did you pick later rounds? You picked later rounds, didn't you? 4 or 5?
Remember how I said, I'm like, Conor said he's going to take him out in the second round. That's not going to happen. I think he'll TKO him in the fourth. That's what I said.
Through volume,
I never thought he would go to decision. Ever thought it would go 5 rounds.
There was very few people. There was a couple that called it in, but I wasn't one of them.
Epic fight.
I said second, third round submission. I thought it was going to go the same way.
You said, second round submission. Yeah.
Second to third, around there, which was the third. It was an intense fight. It'd be great to be able to play it and comment on it right now, but that's just not going to happen. Excuse me. I've been drinking, sir.
We're drinking here, dude. We're having a good time. Yeah, I'm celebrating.
You are?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, for the McGregor fight. What are you celebrating about? Diaz lost, motherfucker. Shit.
Hey, and Diaz, I love you, Diaz, but McGregor.
Nah, he doesn't love you that much. He's like the weekend girlfriend that loves you. Like, oh, you're in town?
Like that side
you're piece. In town. I love you. So we call it side hat.
Side hat.
Little side hat. If you have side hat, you have that side piece.
What else we got on the agenda that we want to talk about? Talking about? I think we want to talk about the Olympics, didn't we?
Yeah, we have the top 5 Olympic memories of 2016, and this was
5. I can only probably name 3.
Really?
Lochtey's number 1.
Really? Dude, that was fucking. Did you think that was a gnarly whole? How all of a sudden yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me say this about Lochtey.
Hold on, before you say it. Yeah. I'm listening to Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen talk about all of a sudden like it was some bullshit, and then the cops went. They were having what's his name, Evan. The guy who talks, he's the mystery guy. And this is Evan over
in the background.
Evan, you
yeah. So he's like, he was talking about 4 guys, and then all of a sudden he's talking about the cops, and they're gonna pull their visas or their passports, and so they can't leave the fucking country. And I'm like, whoa,
bullshit.
I'm like, whoa, who are they here talking about? All of a sudden, I'm hearing about Lochte, who already left the country, and there was one swimmer left, and he's gonna get fucking detained. I'm like, what the fuck? This was all a lie. I started researching.
Yeah, so I think Lochte kind of got a raw deal. Listen, Lochte's not the smartest guy. He is, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he got a raw deal, man. I mean, we've all gotten drunk and pissed outside. Who hasn't done that, right?
Yeah.
He vandalized a picture on the wall, which couldn't have cost more than $20.
Wait. Lochte did all this?
Somebody did it. So what did he do? So Lochte gave him $400 for it. And I guess they broke into the bathroom or whatever because they had to take a piss. But give me a break, man. I mean, really? So we lied about it. He broke into a bathroom to take a piss, and he ripped down a poster. There was a gun drawn on him, by the way. Maybe it wasn't cocked to his head, but there was a gun drawn on him by the security guard.
Okay, by the security guard. But they're saying that he made up the whole fuck.
Money.
He said they
they gave him $400. Then the other swimmers that they detained gave him over $10,000 so they could fly back to the country. I don't know the whole story, but I think he got a raw deal about it. That's all I'm saying. He's an idiot, yes, but he kind of got a raw deal.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know, man. That was gnarly.
You should have just said the truth.
Yeah,
of course.
Like, why do you have to make up some shit, dude?
Especially in your Olympic swim.
Dude, come on, dude. On a fucking worldwide spectrum like that, you gotta just...
And he got
fly
screwed,
straight
man.
on that one. Yeah.
It sucks, though, because he lost all his sponsors. You're talking about millions of dollars he lost.
And dude, no one's gonna fucking believe you if you... Oh, eat this product, and it's good. And there's gonna be memes forever for that guy. Memes forever. Well, just don't be a Lochte.
Yeah, right. He's got the bleach blonde hair.
Yeah. Oh, it's horrible, dude.
No.
It's going to be Trump Lochte pretty soon.
Top 3 moments for me. Lochte number 1.
I can't find this tweet. This sucks.
Phelps has got to be... I mean, Lochte's not really number 1, but Phelps is probably number 1 because he has, like,
dude,
24?
28.
It's incredible.
20. Wow.
20-some medals. Number 2... I'm a basketball guy, so I'd probably go the women and the men's team both won gold. The men have won like 76 or 78 games in a row in Olympic competition, international competition. And then the gymnasts, man, the women gymnasts, incredible, man.
They were the last of that famous
the coach.
Yeah, I
the
can't remember her name.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But that would be my top 3 members.
Okay,
so we dominated the Olympics.
This is the BBC who wrote this. Okay, so it says the top 5 most memorable moments from the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. Okay, it says after 16 days of competitions, great crowds and broken records, another Olympic cycle has ended this Sunday with the closing ceremonies for the 31st Games. Rio de Janeiro and the Brazilian people in general proved to be a very hospitable city, and in spite of some of the setbacks, even if it managed to stay tuned on most of the games, it was virtually impossible to follow every single one of the blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they talk about the top 5. Michael Phelps versus Joseph Schooling. Do you know about this?
No, I don't know who the other
is. That the kid that took a picture with when he was younger?
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
He took a picture of him when he was younger.
Wow.
Competing. So now
that's awesome.
And so the American swimmer left the Summer Games as the most decorated Olympian of all times with 28 medals total, 23 gold ones. But Phelps did more than leave his mark on Olympic records in history when he tied in second place in the 200-meter butterfly behind Singapore swimmer Joseph Schooling.
That's awesome.
Great story. He fucking Schooling beats him.
Also, by the way, Ledecky, the woman swimmer who just shattered the record, she also took a picture with him when she was super young. Got an autograph. So what did he do? He went up to her and got her autograph. Awesome story.
Cool.
Dude, people fucking just making... Dude, those guys... Well, like this guy right here. If you guys watch this stuff, I watched it several times. Especially the fucking relay. You guys, we're going to have to put the relay on. It's insane. Wow. You think Bolt's fast? At Rio 2016, Bolt became the first track athlete to win the triple-triple. 3 Olympic golds in 3 Olympic Games. That's up in an individual discipline. Although the Lightning Bolt didn't break his own Olympic or world records in Rio, he still retires as the fastest man alive and is adored by the crowds in Rio. Okay?
Yep.
Dude, we're going to watch it later on. Maybe not on the podcast, but we're going to watch him do the relay. He's the third one to get it, and he gives it to this dude, and this guy is on crack rocks. I don't know what's going on, but you can't even see his feet and fucking legs. He's just bolted out.
Just a blur.
Okay, number 3, the most memorable, Ryan Lochte. After gaining some attention for winning the 4x200 medley and the 4x200 freestyle relay, U.S. swimmer Ryan Lochte managed to attract an even bigger spotlight after what turned out to be a media fiasco. Lochte, along with 3 other swimmers from the U.S. team, claimed that they had been victims of an armed robbery in Rio. He changed his story and even issued a public apology when the other swimmers admitted to having lied about the whole story. Fuck. And there's a meme right there, lied to mom, caused an international incident.
His hair.
Yeah, he looks like an old dude that's stuck in a young man's body.
Yeah.
He's only 32.
32. Lochte could have very well ended his career on a high note without becoming a bad internet meme. He could have, but now...
Did they take his medal?
No.
No, they did.
I don't know. Did he win any medals?
Did he?
I don't know.
Okay, so Yelena
Or did they win anything? Yeah.
Izabanayeva? How's that?
Oh.
Yelena Izabanayeva.
Never heard of her.
Okay, I'm giving it a shot with that. Okay, so the former Russian pole vaulter came to Rio, and not as an athlete, but as a potential candidate for the Olympic Committee following a doping investigation, which Russia was banned from competing in track and field competition in the Rio Olympics, impeding Izabayeva from closing her career in the 2016 Games. Upon being elected by over 5,000 voting athletes, Isabella stated, "It's very important for me because I was preparing for this Olympics for a long time, and unfortunately I was not able to participate. It's a kind of compensation." So she's being looked at as in the committee for the Olympics, and it's kind of compensation because she wasn't able to finish out her career in the Rio because of this whole Russia doping thing.
Oh, so is this? Oh, they kept them back, right?
Yeah, they didn't allow a fucking gang of Russian athletes to compete. They took them all out of the Olympics.
Cheaters.
Whatever.
I'm sorry. You're all on roids. Get the hell out of here.
Simone Biles?
Yep.
Okay, do you know about her?
Simone Biles, yep.
Biles, okay. She was professional and flawless and all growing up has performed her gold medal routine on the floor. But Simone Biles giggled like a true 19-year-old teen when she met Zac Efron, the guy who wants to fuck all the chicks. I added that part.
What? I was like, there's no way that was happening.
Okay.
Wait, what?
No, she's awesome, man.
Okay, but Simone Biles giggled like a true 19-year-old teen when she met Zac Efron. Efron flew to Rio specially to meet the U.S. Final 5 gymnasts and continued to hang out with the girls after their first meeting, going out for pizza and French fries.
And he kissed her.
And some hot dog.
It's like Netflix and chill.
All
Simone
right,
was...
you're drinking too much, dude.
Simone was... Dude, listen to that story.
Oh my god,
I'm sweating. Oh my god.
Dude,
wait, who's
hear that story, dude.
BBC.
It's getting hot in here, huh?
BBC.
Biles giggled like a true 19-year-old teen when she met Zac Efron, and Efron flew over to Rio to hang out with these U.S. Olympian gymnast girls.
Just them?
To eat pizza and hang out, pizza and French fries.
Yeah,
They win
okay.
Did they win a sweepstakes? What?
Come on.
Yeah,
dude.
they won.
No, they won the Olympics.
They won a tube steak.
Says, Simone won a gold medal, but may I dare, Zac Efron made her much happier.
Oh,
Okay, so I didn't do this, okay? This is just public PBC media, and they can't say that
Let me get this straight, because I know Simone Biles. They did not bang. Okay, Simone Biles has a boyfriend. No, check it out.
Really? Her boyfriend's named Zac Efron?
I would bet my life savings on it. She's a good girl.
You're
dude.
broke
and
now.
he's a good dude.
Sell the
too.
house, and you're never getting the Porsche because,
I just doubled up, baby. No.
Yeah.
dude,
Right.
I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I'm not saying it did.
I think
I'm
it's cool of him to do that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
And hang out and eat French fries and pizza.
Did they ever show like the basketball players' cruise ship?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't get to see that.
Okay, so that was the top 5 Olympic memories for 2016. Fogo de Chao. Brendan Schaub says this on The Fighter Than Kid, and all of a sudden
I gotta go to the bathroom. You guys.
He's talking about-
take over for a second.
go. We're going to talk
This
about
is Steve's area.
We're going to talk about your foot.
No.
He was a perfect. Look at this guy's professional. He knows when to exit and take his dump.
I'll be right back. Just take over.
Fogo de Chao. I hear Brendan Schaub say this like multiple times after he's talking about the Ryan Lochte. Is it Ryan Lochte?
The swimmer.
Yeah, Ryan Lochte.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they detained him, and they were asking him questions, and then he was talking about the last guy being left in Brazil, and then like, oh, that guy's fucked, and he's like, oh, we're gonna take you to Fogo de Chao, Fogo de Chao, like he's gonna get in the you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I know there's a couple people on here that are a little, you know. I apologize to Brandon's mom if you watch this. I know you like the podcast.
Sorry,
Lori, I apologize. I'm a dirty old man, but sometimes it's just funny. Okay, so, but again, this is a lot of this stuff is stuff that I watch on the internet, and it's kind of fed to me, and it's almost like it's not that I'm regurgitating it, but you know. It's
kind of a funny joke.
It's what we think.
If you know the reference to this,
if you know the
restaurant.
Excuse me, if you know the reference. So apologize, Lori. Anyways, Fogo de Chao. He's like Fogo de Chao. So he's meaning like they're raping him and stuff. So I was like, what the? I didn't know if it was like a phrase that.
Yeah. And then
maybe it is a phrase.
It could be. I don't know exactly.
Maybe it's a phrase that
it's Portuguese.
I know it's Portuguese.
But I just
reference
it with the restaurant.
The restaurant I've never been. I didn't even know there was a restaurant called Fogo de Chao.
It's like a Brazilian
steakhouse. Exactly, like ultimate type food, right? Yeah. And you said they keep bringing it to you.
No, well, that's Greenfields.
That's Greenfields.
Yeah, I've only had. I think I've set foot in Fogo de Chao's for like meeting people for drinks and then, or something. Yeah, something random. I didn't exactly eat there, but I went inside.
Are you from Orange County?
Yes.
Have you been down to like the Fashion Island and gone to steakhouses or anything over there?
What's that one? Fleming's. I've been to Fleming's.
Okay.
And then
have you ever been to Ruth Chris?
Yes, I've been to Ruth's.
It's Ruth's Chris.
Yes, I've been there.
Because she bought Chris's restaurant. It's not Ruth Chris. It's Ruth. Her name was Ruth, and she bought Chris's restaurant.
So she put her name on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's steak. So if you go to Ruth's Chris, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Roy's?
I haven't been to Roy's.
Oh,
is that the Hawaiian
Island Fusion? They call it Island Fusion.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, make it a point to go.
I've always seen that. I never
go.
Gotta try it.
Hawaiian martini, lobster pot stickers.
Wow.
If you're at the bar, get the Wagyu burger off the friggin' chain. Food wise, you can get like there's a seafood trio.
Oh, okay.
With bass, like Chilean sea bass, and there's 3 other fish, all white fish. Was it a paco?
Pokey?
No, not pokey. No, it's not pokey.
It's poke or pokey.
It's a white fish.
I never. Everyone's.
I want to call it pacu, but it's not. 3 white fish, and Chilean sea bass is one of them, and it's amazing.
Oh, wow.
And then there's just everything's amazing there.
Okay.
But if you go do lobster pot stickers and some calamari at the bar, and it's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, you can go in there, and they have a happy hour there at the Roy's. If you guys are interested, it's not that I'm getting paid. Like I said it before, and I say it again. I only plug stuff that I believe in, that I spend my money on. I don't get discounts at these places. I just go because.
You enjoy yourself. You have a good time.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I always have my birthday there.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like almost ritual now that I have my birthday at Roy's, because it's just awesome.
I definitely have to check this out.
Yeah. Go the one in Fashion Island. In fact, I know quite a few people that work there.
Okay.
And we should all go and have like a podcast and then go get drinks after.
Oh, that'd be
Uber
sweet.
over there.
Yeah.
Dude, just have a fucking blast and know a bunch of people. It'd be rad. I just asked Steve out on a date. That's rad. So, Fogo de Chao.
Yeah.
So that was it. So it's a Brazilian steakhouse, and it's Brazilian, and it's amazing. Probably like their women and their jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna talk about Combat Jack. Let's talk about this right now, because you listened to while he's gone and he's not gonna be into this. Combat Jack, lawyer for Rockefeller Records. He used
back
to be
in the day. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Now he does a podcast.
Yeah. He kind of blew up this podcast. Just basically, he has an insight to the industry. And he just brings on certain guests that I like. Like, I'm a big hip hop fan, so anything from MCs to producers to industry.
To EPMD.
EPMD. He has
straight for me.
Yeah, he had who did he have on there? Eric Sermon. Yeah, he had Eric Sermon. He has I think he has a rug company now.
Really?
That makes rugs.
Dude, you know what I did? I'm a hip-hop fan, but I've never written lyrics.
Yeah.
And then I got a new puppy, and I wrote some lyrics about this dog.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And I fucking spent like a lot of time going over all the verses and shit. So
seriously?
Yeah, dude. I have a whole bunch of... You want to hear it real quick? It's funny while he's gone? All right. You go ahead, judge. I don't give a shit. I'm the white, stupid rapper. All right. My family breed has arrived. Now we're here. 10 years straight in the making, our mission's still clear. A la Paha Blue Blood, I've said it before. Bubba Kainalu is the one for the score. He's knocking him out the park, a double baker's dozen. Family breed and king of kings, raising much pups with lovin'. Puppy breath, wagging tails, and course lots of cuddling. When you see me and the crew, it's all loves and hugging. Allie Dog the name, we call her for short. She's the vessel for Bubs, as Gizmo before. Everybody says it, and it can't be denied. This little girl of Lola has caught many eyes. Smash face stops and blocked out. Whoa. The whole world will soon know. Aurora Li'ikai is the one for the show. Bam, a knockout. King's royal bloodline and blue blood mix. Posthumous to conjure up this edifice. Before you soon know it, and the world will shall see. Sorry. Before you soon know it, and the world shall soon see. I fucked that up. Aurora Li'ikai means Northern Lights, Queen of the Sea. Smash-faced, like I said, smash-faced, outcrossed, and line-bred in inward too. Foxy, Ruby, Nas, and Wolfman, they're tried and true. History we're making with Kainalu's blues. If I'd want one of those pups, man, you want one too? Pedigree and rare, not ragtag and thrifty, all because she came from Mega Bulls 50.
Damn.
Now, all those references are all like dogs in lineage.
Yeah.
I don't, dude, it's shitty.
That's nice,
if somebody would fucking was a real rap artist, could get some lyrics like that.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's about my dogs, dude.
You go away and I have them rapping.
You guys rapping?
I'm drunk, dude. So that's the only time I would put that down right now. There's no way I would have put that down otherwise. But yeah, I wrote that because I was so passionate about my animal, and I brought her in. I bought her as a pedigree, little 8 weeks old, and I was so enamored by her. And she's all on my Instagram. Username is JUSERNAMEISJAY. Shameless plug for my Instagram. But I have a ton of photos of Li'ikai, like winning her first place ribbon in Sacramento Dog Show, her second place ribbon. She got 2 firsts and a second in Sacramento. She's just a rad dog. And then I have this dog named Kainalu. We call him Bubba. And he's got these big blue eyes. And when I bought my female dog, Aurora, not Li'ikai, I gave her, means Queen of the Sea, Northern Lights, the Queen of the Sea. I bought her, and her eyes were closed. So we didn't know what color. Dude, she ended up being the only dog with blue eyes out of like 13 litters or whatever, out of this combination of dogs that had been bred for so long. She's the only one with blue eyes. And it's just weird that I picked that dog, and my dog that I'm mating her with, my boy, has blue eyes too.
Do you think they'll, does it?
Oh, they'll kick out blue eyes for sure, guaranteed. Okay. Yeah, the genetic pool on that is pretty fucking like 90% dogs.
Oh wow.
Like, in the rap, it's double knocking them out the park, a double baker's dozen.
Oh yeah.
He had 2 litters of 13 dogs each with the female that the Gizmo that I mentioned in there.
Yeah.
She's where does it go right here? Allie Dog's a name. We call her for short. Allie Dog for Aurora or whatever. She's the vessel for Bubs, so she's going to hold all his little puppies, like Gizmo before, because Gizmo was the bitch that did two litters of 13. So it was all methodical on the
like
content.
That. Yeah,
but yeah, and so I've been trying to meet them for like the last 3 heats, dude, and
no dice.
His Verga is way too big. So it hurts her, and she's just been a puppy.
How that goes.
Swanging motherfucker. All right, we're gonna let it off to the last thing. Is that thing still recording? Thank God, dude. I can't believe we have enough. We have that. Yeah,
much space. We've been on for like an hour and a half. We gotta wrap it up here, huh? Jesus. We just go off on these tangents.
No, we were waiting. You were gone. We talked about Combat Jack.
Yeah.
We talked about
some hip hop.
Well, you
Brazilian.
told us you're Brazilian. You talked about you told me, informed me about the John McCarthy thing.
Tell me about Roy's. We gotta go to Roy's for
Roy's. I was telling we all should do a podcast and go to Roy's for some cocktails and apps, dude.
Hawaiian fusion.
Dude, that place is insane. Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
Oh, the place is good.
Yeah, I've been there.
Lobster Pasta. Okay, so the last thing. Let's talk about the last thing that kind of was about the main focal for all of us. Okay, that regardless of who you were rooting for, the average person watching this last weekend's fight, UFC 202 on August 20th, 2016, the average person had the jitters while watching this.
I was more nervous for this fight than any other fight, just because I had some cash on it, and I was predicting McGregor, and he was my boy, and I was hoping he would win. So yeah, I'm sure.
So that way, that's the only way it makes your top 10, huh?
It's in my top 10.
Exactly.
No doubt. Yeah.
But if you didn't have any money wagering on it, you'd
still be in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Top 5?
Yeah, it's close, man. It's up there.
Take a breath.
You know what? One of the other fights that's up there is the Stephan Bonner Forrest Griffin fight. Remember that bloodbath?
Oh, that was a
dude.
That is in my top 5.
So you have the Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonner.
Yeah.
What about that Robbie Lawler and McDonald fight?
Epic fight.
Oh, bro, that goes
That's
right in there. You got to wedge that in there. For me, okay, this is just one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
When Dos Anjos took Anthony Pettis' belt, dude.
Yeah.
That was an amazing fight, dude. I recorded it, dude. I
saw that fight, yeah.
That guy was the champ, and no one could beat him, dude. He was amazing, dude. All of a sudden, Dos Anjos comes out of like nowhere, and I know you don't really like the guy for whatever reason.
No. I like RDA.
He's a great fighter, dude.
He's a great fighter.
I think he can come back and get the belt.
Maybe.
I think he will. I think
he's lucky he pulled out of that McGregor fight, though.
Oh,
dude,
back out.
McGregor is poor McGregor. That's all I gotta say. If McGregor, like I said it before, if McGregor faces Eddie Alvarez or Rafael Dos Anjos or Khabib, he's gonna be hurting.
Well, we'll see. Because this is my opinion.
Those three.
I don't think he's gonna
assassins.
I don't think he's going back down to 145.
Oh yeah, he will.
No. I think he's going to fight for the 155
do you think
title.
he's just going to give up the belt and then go right? Or what he'll do is, hey...
There's nothing in it for him. Why do you want to go back and fight Aldo? I'd say, you know what? Screw you, Aldo. I knocked you out in 30 seconds.
Is he afraid?
Why would he be afraid?
I don't know. He's not going, hitting it.
Think about it this way.
Business standpoint, I get it.
What does McGregor have to gain from fighting Jose Aldo again?
The respect from people who believe that because Aldo ran the reign for so many years,
and McGregor wiped out the whole division
in 13 seconds, knocks him out, and doesn't give a chance for that fucking redemption. Like was it fucking staged? I've heard that shit. That's not the case.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. If you watch it in slow motion,
can't stage a knockout.
No, dude, he was.
You can't do that.
Aldo, if Aldo wouldn't have got cracked like he did, you could make it plausible, but there's no way that you can make it plausible with the way he throws his left hand, right? Aldo throws the left hand, or Aldo throws the right?
Left.
And yeah, because he got him on his brow. He got him like right here.
McGregor threw the left hook, and Aldo threw the left hook.
Yeah. Just like
and
Rocky.
McGregor just landed it
first,
a second sooner.
Like Rocky 5.
Rocky something.
But I just don't think McGregor has anything to gain to go back from that. Should he defend the title and give Jose Aldo a chance? Maybe. But you know what? I think Jose's like, or McGregor's just like, you can have it. And guess what?
See, this is the
you
thing.
Can go fight Max Holloway for the title, and I'll go win the 155 title. After I win that title, maybe I'll come back and
You don't think Max Holloway can take him?
Take who?
Take Conor?
You already beat him.
I'm just saying, do you think he could... I mean, he beat him a long time ago, though.
2 years ago. No, I don't think so. No? Conor, he already beat him.
But Max Holloway's on a 9
and he's a different fighter than when Conor fought him. I agree. Yeah, he's
just
better.
like Dos Anjos was a different fighter after he fought and lost to Nurmagomedov. What's his name?
Khabib? Did he fight Khabib? He didn't fight Khabib. Did RDA?
RDA? Yeah, RDA lost.
You're right.
And so there's like this thing where he wanted to take him on.
The thing is,
Alvarez just beat the shit out of my boy, dude.
Styles, I mean,
Styles make fights.
Styles make fights, man. So it's like, you don't know. But I think McGregor will skip it, go fight for the 155 title, then do the trilogy, or go back down and fight for the 145 again. But we'll see. Tune in.
You think that's how it's going to work?
We'll see. But yeah. You hear what Rogan said today?
Mm-mm.
He said, if I were the matchmaker of the UFC...
Hold on. Who did he have? Godsod?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I just saw on his Instagram, he said, who I would fight, who I would be trying to set up for a fight is Nick Diaz versus McGregor.
Wait,
dude,
what?
Nick would fuck him up, dude.
And I was like, well, Nick fights at 185. But he has fought at 155 early in his career.
He can't go down that much, dude.
But that's what Rogan said.
That'd be like me fighting at 155.
But Rogan said that. He said that's a fight I'd be
you could do it.
That's a whole nother animal right there.
You have to fucking really have the nutrition down to do it.
I'd stay away from that if I was McGregor. But yeah.
Fuck yeah. He's going to get beat up. Dude, Nick's a ninja, like his brother said. Nate says...
He's even more skilled than Nate.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Nate calls him the ninja.
He said he's the best fighter in the world. Obviously, it's his brother, but he's a great fighter, yeah.
Dude.
He fought Anderson Silva.
Yeah, and put a whooping on it. But Anderson's hard to take Anderson fucking seriously, dude.
He lost, but, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll see,
Yeah,
man.
he put a whooping on Anderson.
We'll see. What?
I think Diaz put a whooping on Anderson.
You think he won that fight?
I think he won that fight.
No way. Not even close.
Dude.
No.
You don't think so? What?
Nah, Anderson
Really?
won that
I'm going to watch it tonight after we're done
Anderson
with
won
this.
that fight, but not like it was
Okay,
like
that's our next.
beatdown.
That's going to be our next. Trust me, we're talking about that next time. We're going to talk about Anderson Silva,
Nick Diaz.
Spider versus Nick.
I want GSP to come back, man. I hope he comes back. But he probably...
It's going to be for a money fight only.
We'll see. Boring. GSP McGregor would be epic.
Boring.
Epic.
Boring.
We'll see.
I just think there's a lot better fucking matchups out there than I want to see. Art again. I'm a fanboy.
GSP McGregor would be the highest UFC pay-per-view in UFC history.
It probably would.
Yeah, it would.
It probably would.
But it probably won't happen, so.
That would be it. Okay. I would like that because their styles are very coalescent to one each other. Okay? Like, they're the same, but they're different. Okay? Very similar styles, but there's a different spice to it. There's a different... something that changes it up. Like arroz con chicken. Okay? You can have arroz con chicken in the Middle East, or you can have arroz con chicken over in North America. Okay?
You wanted to say Mexico, didn't you?
Well, I could say Mexico, but anywhere in North America. Because arroz con chicken is just like...
Yes.
Arroz con pollo, sorry.
Well, same.
Arroz con gallina.
Yeah.
It's the same, but it's different, you know. And I think that they have very similar style. And it would make a great fight. Again, styles make fights. I just don't know if he's young enough to fucking battle at that.
Honestly, I think probably GSP would win.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because GSP...
You'd have conflict on this fucking fight.
Oh, yeah.
There'd be major... He'd be conflicted inside. He'd be freaking out going...
Well, GSP's probably the best wrestler.
Can I have one of those, dude?
Open them up, bro.
Dude, amazing. Nutter butters. Are you kidding me? Nutter butter bites after you've been drinking alcohol all night?
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, man. But it's good.
We're going to get some chomping on. I feel like the mics are going to be filled with crunching and munching.
We should probably end this pretty soon here.
Being slobs and trying to sober up. I might have to Uber home.
Going off on tangents.
No. Hey, a good podcast, if it doesn't have any tangents, it's not a good podcast. Sorry, it's boring. It's too rudimentary. It's too followed by the books. Hey, listen, we followed a hell of we did actually notes tonight, all right? We had a computer here. We could look up our facts. We had amazing people on to talk about the fights, and I think I have found my new resident guest. Can we call you a resident guest?
Absolutely.
Dude, nice. Brando. American.
Love it.
What do you call it? American something 83?
Oh, California Kid.
Sorry,
You're stuck on the Americas.
California Kid 83. I like that moniker, the California Kid. He's got the 6 guns a-blazing, and he ain't going to back down from nobody. This is a Topsnap podcast. We did a UFC 202 recap on the events leading up and post crazy ass fight. One of the best fights in 2016, if not the best fight in 2016.
Fight of the year, yeah.
And not the whole decade. I'm going to call it a decade fight. A fight for the decades. Every 10 years you get a fight, something like this. This is exciting. It builds up this great, and it has a trilogy to it. Something to kind of bring on like a soap opera.
Right? We hope.
I think it will be. But we'll have to talk about that next time, too.
Yeah.
Steven, thank you for showing up, man, and talking about Foco de Chao.
Yeah, just random
and talking
shit.
about we talked about Combat Jack, the lawyer, the former lawyer for Rockefeller Records. Check out his podcast. It's called Combat Jack. Apparently, Steven likes it. I'm going to check it out. If you haven't ever listened to a Joe Rogan podcast, listen to him. Listen to the Fighter and the Kid. Any podcast you want to promote?
I listen to Rogan, and now I started listening to the Fighter and the Kid, which is pretty good.
There's no other podcast you want to promote?
Steve's the podcast guy. He likes to listen to.
Steve and Brandon, there's no other podcast you'd like to promote?
No.
I would like to promote Topcast Podsnap. Topsnap podcast.
Topsnap podcast. Topsnap.
3 different types
That's
of
so
versions,
rad. Topsnap podcast. I love you. Yeah, for sure. Watch this one. It's a recap. This is podcast number 25, I think it was.
Oh,
it said, yeah, number 25. We're getting up there. We got a quarter of 100 done. But I appreciate it, and we appreciate all the cool comments and the criticism. Keep it coming, man. Let us know how we can tailor this so that more people would like it. You know, this is an evolution of a podcast, like I talk about it, and it's always an evolution. It's always changing. We're always trying to revamp it, make it better, make it fun, more fun, and just make it interesting for not only you guys but ourselves too. If we're bored over here, it makes it for a bland conversation, and but the alcohol always helps. Thank you, Modelo. Thank you, brother.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Steven. This is Topsnap Media 2016. It's copyright, trademarked and all that. You want to follow me? Its username is Jay on Instagram. We got the California Kid 83. You want to promote any kind of Instagram?
Slam_I_AM.
Slam_I_AM.
Slam I am.
Slam I am. Check out Steven on his Instagram. He's got all kinds
Sorry for eating on
all kinds of naked women on there. So check it out. All right, peace. We're out. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Awesome. That was so fun, man. Thank you so much. And you guys killed it, dude.
Man, that was a long one, huh?